we are pleased once again to be joined by the governor of the Garden State, Governor Phil Murphy, joining us once again. Governor, obviously some difficult news out of the United Kingdom. Do we have any glimmers of good news here in the New York and New Jersey metropolitan area?
Yeah, the Prime Minister and everybody else battling this are in our prayers. I think it's, Brian, good to be back with you. Too early to tell, but we are seeing the positive cases that are coming out each day beginning to show a little bit of a sign of flattening, and that's a good thing. And then we went through some modeling today, and, you know, the good news is we don't have the runaway freight train catastrophe that we would have had we done nothing, and we started on this as far back in January, but we still can't relent. I mean, the social distancing looks like it's working. I want to thank everybody who's staying at home. The only challenge is they got to continue to stay at home. We're far from the goal line, but if folks do that, it's showing some sign of life.
Do you have any indication, Governor, of when that goal line might be? I'm not talking about reopening the economy and everybody walking the boardwalk at Seaside. I'm talking about a slow, gentle return with strict controls and the possibility of a reversion to the lockdown, which you've seen happen in various places.
Yeah, I'd like to say we're within days or weeks, but I think I've said this before, and I see nothing that doesn't say that we're not at least deep into May. And again, we've got to get the order right here. We've got to break the back of this virus definitively, and then we can begin to responsibly reopen the economy and our society. If you get that wrong, the order wrong, or if you start too early, I'm fearful you throw gasoline on the fire. But I will tell you, everybody overwhelmingly is doing the right thing, and we will get there. I just wish it were sooner than it will be.
Yeah, it's very tough, too. And there's some things that I would imagine are nearly impossible for you to manage, Governor, because you look at the case structure in Bergen County, which is where CNBC's headquarters, right across the George Washington Bridge, by far the hardest hit. It is connected to New York by the George Washington Bridge. New Jersey Transit is still running. Any indication of effectively maybe not locking down the border with New York, but at least sort of controlling the flow of people?
I mean, the flow, the reality is the flow is so far down. I think NJ Transit's ridership is down something like 93%. And if you look at the people who are taking it, they're overwhelmingly people who have to. And we've basically said, if you're not a healthcare worker, first responder, essential retail, working at NJ Transit, a longshoreman, whatever, someone in the supply chain, if you're not on that list of people, stay home. So effectively, we're really already doing that. The other thing I'd say is this, is that Governor Cuomo and I and Governor Lamont, Governor Wolf, we've tried to act in concert every step of the way. So we're largely in one reality, even though we may be on two sides of the Hudson. So in many respects, we are doing basically what you're suggesting, Brian.
Have you heard from President Trump, who obviously not only is the president, but has a big golf course and a source of revenue for himself in the Garden State?
Yeah, in fact, he and the vice president and I spoke a couple of hours ago. It was a good call. He officially gave his support for the fact that New Jersey would have a piece of the beds that are on the USNS Comfort, which was a big deal for us. The Army Corps of Engineers they've helped us stand up some field medical stations. FEMA's now going to extend their time with us on testing our 2 testing sites that we operate with them. We got 500 ventilators over the past day. Not everything we need, but it's a step in the right direction. So, you know, we're all in this together, doing the best we can to flatten this curve and get our ways through this.
And what's the status of the hospitals as far as beds, ICUs, and ventilators, Governor?
Listen, we're still short across the board. So we're short ventilators, PPE, personal protective equipment, beds, healthcare workers. We've got a plan for all. We've had good incremental progress, and I'm grateful for that, believe me, but we still have a ways to go. Even though the social distancing looks like it's really taken, as I mentioned earlier, taken us well away from what would have been a runaway freight train down to a lower number. Even that number, unless we stay on that and stay even more aggressive, will swamp our healthcare system. So we're doing everything we can to stay out ahead of that.
And I would have listen, again, we're on CNBC. I understand it's a humanitarian crisis as well, Governor, but from the business owner's perspective, like we talked about last time, we go all the way from the mom and pop pizzeria that sort of made New Jersey famous to giant hotels and casinos in Atlantic City. What are you hearing from business owners about what they want and what they need right now?
Well, first of all, they're crushed. You know, the workers who are out of work, we've got, like most American states, record unemployment. We've got a particular hurt on our small businesses. But as you mentioned, we're home to big companies as much as any American state. The bad news is they're hurting, period. The encouraging news is everybody, the spirit of let's get through this together. We know this is killing us, but we've got to break the back of this virus first. And we understand that's the first order of business. The spirit overwhelmingly is incredibly, not surprising because it's Jersey, but it's incredibly impressive. We got to get money as fast as we can, particularly through the CARES Act, to our unemployed who are in a world of hurt. And again, they're record numbers. Get money as fast and as significantly as we can to our small businesses. Again, this is both a healthcare crisis. It's also an economic crisis. But again, the spirit is really impressive across the board.
You know, I got to say, Governor, I was not born in this state. My kids are being raised in New Jersey. 9/11, the towns were hit hard. Hurricane Sandy, Seaside, the roller coaster was in the ocean. Now we have this, and always the state comes back. New Jersey is going to get a long vacation when this thing is over. Governor Phil Murphy, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it, sir. Be well.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me, man. Amen.
Oh, absolutely. We'll talk again soon. Certainly Jersey strong, and we mean it here. Everybody knows somebody from New Jersey. Let's all just admit that.